Hello, good morning, floralpreneurs. It is I, Alison Ellis, coming at you live today for our last live Tuesday Q&A of December, which means it's the last live Tuesday Q&A of 2019, which is exciting. I'll tell you why it's exciting, because I invited you here to finish the year strong with me. I invited you in November. I said, you know what? It's November. Let's do some work together. Let's answer some questions on Tuesday. Let's talk about your business. Let's think about your business. Let's not wait till January to start. Fill in the blank, whatever it is for you. So this is the reason I invite you here to do this stuff with me, to talk with me, to ask me questions so I can answer them. It's all a part of creating a good business practice, right? And that is about mindset. This is something I'm coming way more in focus with, like way more aligned with the idea that mindset is responsible for way more of my progress or success or ability to get stuff done, just the plain old ability to get stuff done. It's all mindset stuff. And so that's really why I wanted you to come here on Tuesdays with me for the last 4 weeks, because if you can stay focused, if you can not get distracted by this idea that it's okay to like take your foot off the gas. It's okay to get distracted. It's okay to, it's snowing right here. I mean, I live in Vermont, so it's not that surprising, but it's like really just this beautiful little snow globey feeling. It would be so easy to just, plug in my Christmas tree and just clean my house and do some stuff, finally write out my Christmas cards, right? Like it'd be so great to do that stuff. But I'm not doing that now because it's mindset time. It's focus time. It's time for 2020, right? So think about how you're going to finish this year strong, even if it means giving yourself a break. It's okay if that's part of your plan, just so long as it's in your plan and you're not just like, I'm going to slack. I'll do it in 2020. 2020 isn't real. Every day counts, okay? Every day counts from now until the end of time. All right, I got some great questions from a bunch of y'all. So I have a few of them here. And I think the questions I picked today are things that will apply to a lot of people. Expired quotes. What do you do when a quote expires? There was a question asked about using, like repurposing bridesmaids bouquets as centerpieces. And I said, well, I don't do that. And someone said, well, can you tell me? How do you tell them you're not going to do that? We got a great question in the group. Oh, hey, Hillary, great to see you. Hillary, you made my day the other day when you signed up for Art of Good Business. I am so psyched to have you in there. You're going to rock. We're going to rock that together. All right, so Edith wrote today and asked about this opportunity that she may have to like move into a flower shop. So we're going to address that because she's a little bit afraid, and I think a lot of us can relate to that. Anybody who owns a business, there's fear, right, around a move sometimes. So let's talk about that. Veronica asked, what are your most used hashtags? And since this seems so simple, I thought it was a good one to just throw in here today. And then another great one, in need of advice about working from home. Like, can you establish yourself working from home? Is it possible? Any advice? And I am, if you've been following me a while, you know, I am a home-based florist. So I can attest to what works and what doesn't work about that. So I'd be more than happy to answer that question for you. So as you may know, if you, again, have been tuning in for the past few weeks, finishing your year strong with me, my course, The Art of Good Business, is starting in January. So even though I'm like 2020 is not real, every day counts, it's going to get real in January when we do this course together live. Now, you don't have to attend my course live if you're like, but January is busy for me, I have stuff going on. That's all right. You can do this course at your own pace anytime. However, what I know is that so many people are out there working alone, right? Like, raise your hand if you're out there working alone. Or if you're not alone, but it's up to you to make all the decisions. You still need to make the decisions and tell people who needs to do what, right? It's a lot of pressure. And so if you're on your own, you don't have to be on your own. In The Art of Good Business, we do this together. So yes, you can learn by yourself if you prefer to do that. I actually signed up for a course that is ending fairly soon, actually. And I feel that pressure, like the course content goes away for the course I signed up for. And I'm feeling this pressure to really like get this work done. With the Art of Good Business, you won't lose access to that content. So you won't have that pressure that if you don't do it now, it's over, you've lost your chance. And in fact, you can do it with me year after year. And that's my favorite thing about doing the Art of Good Business, is this idea that it's practice that is continual. That is, again, mindset stuff. This is your business. Everything you're doing this December, you probably have to do next December, right? So how do you streamline your system to make your end of year more seamless every year? The way I like to make my beginning of the year feel seamless is by diving into the Art of Good Business. And it's work that I do with you. Like, I will show you my progress on the tasks that I give you in that course too, because I never stop. Like, it's, you know, people have this like can't stop, won't stop. Like, that is what the Art of Good Business is. It can't stop, won't stop, constantly striving to be your best self, to be your best version of your business, and to represent your brand in its best light. That stuff doesn't come overnight. There is not a single person that has a business or a brand that you love or admire or look up to who did that overnight. There is not a single person who did that. And if they did, if they somehow miraculously did, it's because they're like some off the charts, unique juggernaut, right? But trust me when I say this, that person who hit big, that brand that you love that didn't struggle to get there, they just boop, came out. I woke up like this, right? Those people behind the scenes are struggling with, how do I maintain this? Because they don't have the practice behind them, the practice that we do in the Art of Good Business. So this course is available right now until Friday. I'm closing the doors on Friday at midnight, and then we're going to start it together in January. You get immediate access to the course as soon as you sign up. So if you sign up this week, you get access to the content this week, so you don't have to wait until January if you are taking my Finish Strong advice very seriously and looking to do some work this month, okay? So that's my little spiel about that. Art of Good Business can be found on my website at realflowerbusiness.com. And as always, I will share a link here in our thread of this video. So let's get to your questions. This is our final Q&A. If you have questions, feel free to ask them during the live stream. So here's the first one I wanted to share with you. So this came in a private message, actually. Hi, Allison. When your couple's quote expires, yet they still come back to you just after, do you quote them again? So this is a good question, and it's a question that I've gotten more than once. It's a question I've answered before, but I'm going to answer it again. So the short answer is, if I send out a quote with an expiration date and the couple needs more time, it's up to me to decide whether or not I'm willing to give them more time. So if it's a date that I really want to book, like for example, if it's December and it's a June wedding, and I'd really love to just book it at this point, I might give them a couple of extra days. I might tell them that I can't hold their date, so I can't guarantee I'll be available, but if they would like to book with me and I'm still available, I will honor the quote. I may just straight up tell them no, and it's expired, especially if it's somebody that I'm not digging. If they want more time and I really don't want to work with them, it's a perfect out to just say, no, I'm sorry, I can't, and I wish you well as you continue to price shop, right? Because that's what they're doing. So if you have a customer who just needs a little more time, if you're willing to give them more time, go ahead and do it. But I wouldn't redo a quote. I wouldn't like get into the weeds of doing more work for them. I would just let them know what the new terms are. I'll hold your date for 5 more days, or I can't guarantee it, but if you come back to me and I'm still available, I will honor this quote. Those are sort of the 2 easiest ways to handle that. She also asked, like I mentioned before, about this bridesmaids bouquets as centerpieces. So someone asked the question in the group, what do you do when they want to use their bridesmaids bouquets as centerpieces? I just don't really feel like that works, was essentially what the question was. And I agree with that. I don't think a bridesmaid bouquet is an appropriate centerpiece. Now, there was a time in my business where I would just say yes to that, because I would say yes to anything to book the gig. I would say yes to anything to make the budget work for the client. So if instead having 6 fewer centerpieces and using your bridesmaids bouquets is what you want to do, I would have said yes to that in the past. But now I don't say yes to that. And so that's where this question came in. I love the fact that you don't allow them to use the bridesmaids' bouquets as centerpieces. What do you say? No, sorry, that's something you don't do. So her question is, how do I let them know that that's not going to happen? Oh, hey, good morning, Victoria. I'm so glad you're here. She says, I'm here. You made it. You made it for all 4 of these Q&As, I think, girlfriend. I like this 11 o'clock time slot is working on your West Coast time. So this is a good one because, again, it takes a little time and practice and finesse to get to the point where you say, like, Homa, don't play that. Like, I'm not doing that. You're not using those. We don't, just So like I said, there was a time where I would definitely have just said yes. Okay, you want to do 6 bridesmaids bouquets of centerpieces? Fine, I'll leave 6 empty vases on the table, and whenever your girls get back from whatever picture frolicking or whatever you're doing, after people are already seated at the tables and they're sitting at a table with an empty vase, the girls can come in and put their bouquet in there. There is a time where I would say okay to that. But now, because I'm really practiced at the art of good business, what the piece that I've perfected on that is attracting the right clients. I don't get a lot of price shoppers. I don't get a lot of people who can't afford centerpieces is what I'm getting at, okay? If you can't afford centerpieces, it's an indicator that you can't afford me, okay? Bottom line. It's like if somebody goes to the caterer and they're like, we'd like to skip the cocktail hour to save some money, that caterer should get a little bit of a red flag that this person can't really afford this, and also this is not a good idea because it doesn't really work to have 150 people standing around for 2 hours not eating, just drinking, right? So they might have rules around that. So just like the caterer, you can make your own rules on what you say yes to and what you say no to. So I might not just say, no, sorry, that's not something I do. But what I would probably say is, in my experience, that isn't always the best plan because, and then I paint the picture for them. Because the bridesmaids' bouquets have been out of water for a couple of hours in your hot hands, taking pictures. Because those tables will have nothing on them when your guests first walk in. So it will be obvious that there are no centerpieces on those tables because the height isn't correct, because the sprawl isn't right. It's like, it's just not a centerpiece. So I'll let them, then also just where they can use them. Because here's the thing, somebody who's either focused on budget or focused on not wasting stuff, you have to be reasonable and get to the bottom of what is it, what matters to them. Is it the budget or is it that they just want to repurpose them? I am all for repurposing bridesmaids bouquets. I have no problem if people want to do that, but they'll go on windowsills or on one big long head table, or they'll go random places, little accent tables. But I would really like for my customer to be able to afford centerpieces, and that's what it boils down to. So it's not about me being bossy about the style. It's more part of my vetting process that if you can't afford centerpieces, you can't afford me. And if you can't afford me, harder for me to do my job well. Bottom line, if you can't afford what I do, it is harder for me to wow you. It's harder for me to deliver something I'm proud of because I'm working with not enough. So that's really the why and the how of, I don't do bouquets as centerpieces. That's really my motivation for why. It's not just a snobbery, it's a self-preservation thing. You'll find that's almost everything I do. It comes down to self-preservation. Because we do need to meet expectations all along the way if we're going to wow. And it's hard to wow when you have 6 missing centerpieces. Okay, next question is from Edith. She says, hello, flower lovers. I would like to hear about your experience as an entrepreneur in the flower industry. Okay, wait, I'm going to pause because I see a big, long comment that came through. All right, Victoria says, I do say okay to that now because I get brides with a gazillion bridesmaids. So I'd rather put more love into those bouquets than the flowers that will end up in the bathroom. That's a good way to look at it. And see, this is why this is a good conversation. It really should be choose your own adventure here. Do you repurpose for centerpieces or not? My reason for not is simply because it's always an indicator that they don't have budget. No one ever does that because they like the look of it. They're not like, you know what I would love? I would love a 6-inch cylinder vase with a bouquet as a centerpiece, you know? That's why. But if it works for you, if you've got people that they're still spending on the rest of the wedding, you do you, girl, you know, and I know you would even if I didn't tell you, do you? That's because that's your thing. All right, back to Edith. So she says, I'd like to hear about your experience as an entrepreneur in the flower industry, especially when you decided to move/open your flower shop. But also I want to share with you that I found a storefront for a good price. Unfortunately, it's in a different town from where I live. There's only one flower shop. The income is moderate, but I am afraid. I used to own a floral studio in my hometown, and I moved out because rent was too expensive and it was not a storefront. I moved to a photographer studio to share the space, and that didn't work out. Now I'm working from my home and business is okay. I get a couple of orders at least every day. However, I make most of my money from events. I have been doing bar and bat mitzvahs and weddings. That's been helping to save money and open my flower shop. I feel like I should know what to expect, but it's totally different territory. Any tips? Thanks. All right, so again, such a good one. There are so many nuggets in here. First of all, the fear, the afraid. We can all relate to that, right? Especially if you're going to go from little to no overhead to a bunch of overhead, especially if you've already had an experience where you know that the overhead is what crushed you and put you in a different situation, right? So here's the thing. Working from home, making most of your money from events, you are going to make more money doing that than you will if you open a shop, because the shop is going to now take part of your profit for overhead, right? So you need to know, Edith, what you want. So I have a business plan jumpstart. I've talked about this before. It's really important to understand what you want your business to do for you, right? Because we end up working for our business, but in the end, what we really want is a business that works for us, that fits our lifestyle. Let me give you an example. This morning, right? It's all beautiful. It's, I wish you could see outside my window right now. It's so cute. It's almost Christmas, and there's a little like holiday sing-along at school this morning. So my son is so excited. He's like, well, we end. But the big finale is the 12 days of Christmas, and wait till you see what everybody does. The teachers acted out. He is so excited about it. And it's at 7:50 this morning. And all I can think is, I got this live stream to do. I'm writing a book right now. I've got work to do. I'm trying to do workouts. I'm trying to like take my own medicine here and be like, finish strong. Like, okay, I'm working out. So I'm trying to do all these things. I don't want to go to the sing-along, okay, y'all? But I can, because I made a life that allows me to go and show up for my kid at school. And I did that on purpose, intentionally, so that I could go to the sing-along, okay? So I had to get out of my own mind and my own way. By the way, I was still here on time. I still got my workout in. I got like, nothing has suffered. It's like a selfishness that kicks in, right? Like, oh, I don't want to do this. But again, because I'm clear on what I want, because I have a business plan that I update regularly, because I do my art of good business work and practice, going to that sing-along was obviously the thing to do today, okay? Even though my car is getting snow tires right now, so I had to walk up to the school. Where's the little violin playing its sad, sad song, right? So I'm walking, it's freezing, I'm like, I'm gonna be late, but I am going to do this thing because I set up a life that allows me to do this, and by golly, I'm gonna do it, right? So that's what I did. You gotta know, do you wanna show up someplace at 7:50 a.m. to watch a sing-along? It was adorable, by the way, very cute. 3 French hens. I had 3 of the teachers wearing berets and saying "oui" when they it was very cute. Or no, ooh la la, that's ooh la la, 3 French hens. It was cute. It was worth going to. And I got a ride home with the bus driver. The bus driver dropped me off. Didn't even have to walk home. So this is all of this is to say, you got to know what you want in order to know if this is going to work for you. Because I can't tell you how many people come in here to this group and say, there's this great shop, or I want to open a shop, or I think I have a good deal, or you got to run numbers, honey. You got to run numbers, and you got to run it through your heart. What do you want? Do you want to have to show up at a storefront? Do you want to drive to this town? Do you want the pressure? Do you want the overhead? Do you want to have to take lots more orders every day? Or are you actually happy with what you have going on here? If you're happy with this, then I would just say, why in the world would you take on more overhead, right? So you have to know exactly what you want in order to create a life that you want. And you do have to get a little self-reflective on that sometimes. And the end of the year is the perfect time. So it's a perfect time to ask that question, Edith, and to get at it, get down with it, with yourself. What do I want? How do I want my life to be? What do I want my day to be like? What do I want my life to be like 5 years from now? Do I want to be opening up the doors to this flower shop 5 years from now? And can I afford it? And how many events do I have to book? You can find the answer to this. And nobody else can answer this question for you. So that's it. Nobody can answer your question. All right, I've got Veronica's question on hashtags coming up next, but let me see some comments coming in. Hillary says, I had a wedding in July with 16 bridesmaids, and she reused some of them as centerpieces, but it was a beautiful backyard wedding. I was fine with it because it took me forever to make 16 bridesmaids bouquets. Oh my God, that really is a lot. It's like when I get to 7, I'm like, ugh. I always charge more when there's 7 because I'm like, I know I'm going to be hating it when I get to number 6 and the 7th is the only one that doesn't look like the other 6. Yeah, I feel you. So see, again, it's a perfect example of why you have to choose your own adventure with what do you allow? Does that work for you? And I think, yeah, for a backyard wedding, that probably is a perfect opportunity to say, yeah, sure, you can repurpose these. Victoria said, did you just say you're writing a book right now? Yes, I am. I am indeed. Yeah, Florist Review and I have teamed up. So it's going to be a real book, real published and everything. I'm very excited. So yes, I've been working on that in my free time. Yeah, I have no free time, but it's because I'm really focused on what I want to do. I'm in a place of like working a ton with a very clear end date of like when I'm going to cut this off and then when I'm starting back up again. I am really getting clear on this. It's not easy to be clear on these things. Sometimes it's really hard to work as hard as we work, but you have to love it enough. And that's what I realized. I love it enough, right? That's why I'm like, yeah, I'm going to write this book because you know what? I have a lot to share and I've got it. It's almost done. The book is almost done. It really is. And I had kind of walked away from it a little bit and I stepped back into it yesterday. I went, okay, brace yourself for whatever mess you're about to open up in this document. And I was like, no, this is good. I'm changing a couple things. I'm going to add on this. And I felt this new sort of fire of like, oh, we are getting this done, right? So this is why I always say start before you're ready. Because I started this way before I was ready. And then when I got approached with like, hey, do you want to write this book? It was very easy to say yes because I already knew I wanted to write a book. I didn't have to think about it. I wasn't like, I don't know, do I want to write a book? No, I already knew. Heck yeah, I want to write a book. The answer is yes, you know? So this is why we got to get in touch with ourselves and what we want. Oh, hey, Magda. Magda says, bravo, can't wait to read. Oh, thank you. Victoria says, deets. All right, I'll share some deets in our Art of Good Business group. How about that? I'll share it there with you, Victoria. So I'm going to hop on to Veronica's question. It's going to be about like running your business. It's not like about design. It's very much about the wedding business and having a more streamlined, modern floral wedding business, whether you work from home, a shop, flower farm. That's sort of what I'm melding. So don't ask me what the title is or anything. We haven't gotten that far yet, but I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, so Veronica, what are your most used hashtags? Okay, another great question I have seen before. No one can really answer this except for you in terms of what's going to be your best hashtag for you. Again, I'll say it again like a broken record. The Art of Good Business is where I talk about honing in on what makes you unique, what makes you special, what your customers care the most about. And that's what your hashtags should reflect. You, what you do, what makes you special, what your customers care about, what your customers are searching for, right? That's what you want to do with your hashtags. You want to turn those into things that are specific to your business, specific to where you want to go in your business, specific to the types of people you sell to, okay? These are not no-brainer questions. These are pondering questions. These are, we do work and practice to learn, oh, this is what my customer actually wants. Oh, this is what my customer cares about. If your customer only cares about price, we need to get deeper into what do those people care about and how do we serve them better? Or we need to figure out who is your current customer, maybe isn't your ideal customer. So who is? And that's really what it comes down to. And your hashtags are going to be a complete and utter reflection of your understanding of who you are, what makes you unique, and who your customers are and what they care about. That's it. At the end of the day, that is what it's all about. That's what all of your marketing and branding shows us, by the way. All of your marketing and branding shows us how much you know about yourself and your business and how much you know about your customers and what they really want. All right, final question that came in that I had chosen for today's Q&A came from Peony and Petal Floral Design. She said, I am in need of advice. And she says, I live in a ski town where it's always floral season. I am trying to establish myself working from home. Is it possible to make it from your home? Any advice? All right, so again, I am a home studio florist. Home studio florists are on the rise. They have been for a long time. This isn't a new trend anymore. This is just the way the industry has been going. And it's, again, because of what we talked about earlier in Edith's question, that overhead. Flower shops are so important to our communities. And I mean, if you are in an area where you have a beautiful flower shop, I hope that you support that flower shop as much as you can, whether it's sending business to them that you yourself don't take, going in and buying something retail every now and again, or just sharing some social media love with them. Anything that you can do to support your local flower shops, if you're a home-based studio, is something I want you to take seriously, because we need the flower shops. I need a flower shop in my area so that I can say no to work I don't want to do. It's selfish, okay? It is selfish. I support my local flower shops. I cannot tell you how many orders I send to them, because I don't need to take a little bit of business and do a little bit of daily work just because. I would so much rather support the local flower shop who has been in business for however many decades, right? And serves the community and does stuff that I don't do. So I would rather have my day not doing those little orders and send those to that flower shop. So if you want to make it from home, you can do that. I can tell you with certainty. But it does take getting your name out there, getting some brand recognition, and again, knowing who you are and what makes you different and why they pick you versus a shop. Why do they come to you? So it depends on what kind of work you're going to do from home. If you want people coming in to buy things, I don't know if I would want to do that from my home. If you're doing events, super easy, much easier to do from home. But maybe if I had a little more information about exactly who your market is, because you say here it's a place where it's like flowers are, it's always floral season in the ski town, which I find interesting because I always feel like I'm the only person buying flowers when I go to a ski town. So, so I love the idea that a ski town is actually a good place for a florist. So maybe I will consider that in my retirement. But even though I live in Vermont, where I'm pretty close to ski towns, but you know what I mean. There are some towns that is it, right? Like Colorado, whatever, you're in Sun Valley, you say here, you can make your home business work, but you do need to know how you're getting your name out there and who these people are. All right, Denise says, just bought an 1880s inn with 5 acres in Virginia to begin my wedding venue. Congratulations, that's really exciting. After years of having a home-based floral business, who knew I would want this? Am I ready? No. Am I going to rock this? Yes. That's awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I have a little bit of a dream of like a bed and breakfast one day, but I know it's a lot of work. I love that you did that. I'm gonna give you a round of applause because that's fabulous. You know, this is the thing, I'm not actually that surprised, and I'll tell you why. Because you've been primed all this time, right? You've been having a home business, so you understand so much of what goes into it. And you're going to repeat a lot of the same stuff you already did and learned in this new business, from putting yourself out there, introducing yourself to the community, knowing what the customer wants. Like, you probably have a different idea of what the customer actually wants. So when you know those things, you're banging, you're in business. So good. I love it. You are going to rock it. Oh, hey, Julie, I answered your questions earlier in the live chat. So I know I sent you a message the other day too, but I dove into that centerpiece question a little bit, the bouquets as centerpieces. All right. If you have more questions, now is the perfect time to ask them. And I am going to take this opportunity to remind you one more time that this is the time to keep moving with your business. Don't take your foot off the gas. You can take time off for holidays, yes. You can close your business for the holidays, for a few days, for a week, for all I care. Go ahead and do it. But don't shut down in terms of knowing what needs to happen, when it's going to happen. And don't think you have to wait until January to start being awesome. If there's anything less than awesome happening for you right now, now is a perfect time to address it, to fix it, to tackle it, to squash it, to at least acknowledge it to yourself and go, you know what I don't like? This. And I'm not waiting until January 1st. I'm not waiting until January 15th. I'm not waiting till February and going, boy, it's not the new year anymore. Now is your time, okay? So seize whatever it is that you need to seize right now in your business. And if you really need to get to the heart of why you're unique, here's the thing. All of your competitors might look like they're crushing it in their business, right? They really might. They might look like they are crushing it. But behind the scenes, they're actually struggling, right? Because they're dealing with the same things you're dealing with. And here's the thing, when someone has a big following, they're dealing with the same things you're dealing with and feeling even more exposed because more people are seeing them, right? More people are aware of what's working or not working. So don't fall into comparison, especially this time of year. Just know what's going well with your business, what you need to improve, and just know in your heart, you don't have to dwell on it, but just know in your heart that your competition is also struggling in their own way. So just do you. Whether they're struggling to turn prospects into clients or whether they're simply struggling to meet their payroll, whatever their struggle is, doesn't have to be your struggle, right? You can get to the heart of what makes you unique, why people choose you, and you can help them choose you more quickly. Something that I teach you how to do in my Art of Good Business course. This is the work we do. It took me years, many years, trial, error, learning things, investing in courses, doing a ton of work. Again, trying things that then didn't work and going, oh God, that didn't work. Like, should you put a minimum on your website this year? There's not a one-size-fits-all answer to that, but I can help you figure out what the right answer is for you. And because I do this course live in January, if and when you have questions, like specifically, I'm thinking of adding a minimum, should I do this? We can talk about that right there in the group in a way that's more intimate and personal and have more of a one-on-one coaching feeling where I can get to the bottom of what is your minimum? What will it be? What are you currently achieving? Does this make sense for you? So we can get to the bottom of that kind of stuff. We can troubleshoot together, and that's what we do in January. So you are special and unique, and it is important that you understand not only that you deserve to be respected, that you deserve to have clients who really do follow your rules, but that you deserve to have an understanding of what your rules are, how you present them, how you increase your clarity with clients. Because when you can increase your clarity, you are going to increase the number of people who book with you. And that is just a fact. When you can say to somebody, that doesn't work, or that does work, or this is how it's going to be, or payment is due in 2 weeks, that is when people follow your rules. When you are struggling too much because you're like, I'll figure this out on my own. I'll do this on my own. Maybe next year I'll figure something out, but for now I'm going to just keep doing this alone. You don't have to do that. You're spinning your wheels in a way that makes it so that you actually don't, sorry, my phone is going off here. You are spinning your wheels in a way that makes it so that you actually don't move forward. You get stuck in a pattern where you are doing the same thing over and over again, where you become the florist who goes, you know, all of a sudden I'm getting undercut. There's a new person came in and they're undercutting. If you're getting undercut, what you're actually suffering from is not competition that is not charging enough. You're suffering from not being a clear choice, okay? And I'm not saying that in a mean way. I'm saying that out of love. If people are stealing out weddings out from underneath you because they're cheaper, what's actually happened is you did not present as the clear choice, okay? And it's very important for you to be honest with yourself about that, okay? You're not losing weddings because that person's cheaper. Although maybe a little bit, right? We all know that that's some of it. But if you're really losing weddings happening to you all the time all of a sudden, it's because you're not presenting yourself as the clear choice. And I can help you do that. And the Art of Good Business is where we do that work. Friday is the last day to register for the Art of Good Business. So if you would like to join me, I would be honored to have you in the course, truly. Like, I'm looking you in the eyes. I would be honored to have you in the course. And if you have questions, if you're like, I don't know if this course is right, get in touch with me. I'm a person. I get on the phone with you. We will talk. We will figure out if it's right for you. And it might not be right for you. And I'm happy to tell you that. If I'm like, this isn't going to help you, most likely I'll have something else that would help you. But the Art of Good Business is for people who really want to buckle down, who really want to get clear, who want to be the clear choice, who don't want to worry about price shoppers anymore. And I'm going to give you a quick little rundown of some of the things that you get when you sign up. So first of all, you're going to get the live support and training with me, guidance on whatever questions you might have. The goal is to make you not just more profitable, but actually like enjoying your business more, loving your business more. So you get PDFs, you get the course, you own it. Like, you can put it on your computer and have it, okay? There are 6 PDFs that come with actionable steps for you. You have real work that we do together in this course. You're gonna have, I have listed in my little spiel, like, you get more than 4 hours of video training. There are so many hours of training, you guys, because there are hours and hours of live streams in our Facebook group, okay? So you can not only get into the course, but you can go back and watch all kinds of stuff that you missed. You're gonna get exclusive access to our Facebook group where I do the live streams, and I continue to check in with you every month. So if you need something from me, if you're a member of this course, you're a VIP in my world. You're also going to get these live chat replays, right? So if you can't join me live at any time, you know, you could sit down and watch all of them anytime you want. You don't have to tune in live. So especially if it's something like you want to ask me a question behind the scenes, you can ask me a question behind the scenes. I can answer it in a live stream, or we can just chat one-on-one, because I really am here to support you once you sign up. And there is just, the most important thing is to know there's never a reason to feel like lost or confused or unsure of what to do, because I am here, okay? So I'm an email away, I'm a call away, and my Art of Good Business people can attest to that. If you need something, I am there for you, okay? I want to see you succeed. I am really, really serious about that. Let's see. Oh, Edith just tuned in. Hello, Edith. Julie, I did this work from home. Just got taken over, so the shop was for us. Thank you. Sorry, I've been busy with Christmas orders. Okay, sorry, I missed that, but I missed what your comment means there, but no problem. Being late to my live stream. I think you're saying sorry you're late for my live stream. No, I appreciate your questions. I think people got a lot of value from your questions about when a quote expires and the centerpieces. So you tune in whenever you have time, Julie. You keep making those Christmas orders, making that money. Like I said, questions for me, you get in touch anytime. Don't hesitate. Art of Good Business doors close on Friday. I'm not going to open them back up again, probably until next year. And the truth is, I might actually raise the price next year. I may actually double the price next year, if I'm being totally honest. It's something I should have done in the past, And I haven't done because because I do know my ideal customer, and I know that people aren't exactly enthusiastic about spending $2,000 on a course, which is why my course is $1,000. There are payment plans, interest-free. Interest-free means you don't pay any extra and you get extra time to pay. You still get the whole course right up front because I trust you, okay? Because if you're gonna invest in me, I'm gonna invest some trust in you, and I want you in the course. So I make this as accessible as possible. You are not gonna find other programs, especially for florists, that are like, yeah, I'm gonna give you a payment plan and it's interest-free. They are gonna hit you up with that interest big time. So I try my very best to make even my payment plans very affordable for you. And the best way I found to do that is to make them interest-free. Because I am so interested in getting you in the course that I give you 0 interest, okay? That's the truth. And yeah, that's a cheesy joke, but I don't care. I don't regret it. If you have questions, don't hesitate to be in touch. I just hope you keep doing beautiful work for many, many, many years to come. And if you need some support, some guidance, some tricks, some shortcuts on how to get your business to look and come across as good as you actually are, that's when I finally decided to do this kind of work. When I was like, I am better than this. I am better than what this looks like. And this competitor looks better than what they are. And I'm losing weddings to that. When I had that moment of just, you know, the come to Jesus moment that I'm better, but I'm not booking, that's when I decided to get serious. So if this is for you, if you're in a place where you know you're better than this and you should be booking and you're not, Art of Good Business was made for you, and I'd be honored to chat with you or have you sign up for the course anytime before Friday, before the end of the day on Friday. Oh, I see Vicky. Hey, Vicky, I can definitely attest to this. This course is so worthwhile. Vicky, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you doing the work. When you show up and do the work, that's when you get results every time, right? That's why I showed up and did my stupid workout today, which I did not want to do. But if I don't do the work, I don't get the results. So that is what it's like. This is Art of Good Business is like a workout for your business. Get you in shape for sure. And really, the truth of the matter is this course is not for everybody. You have to be willing to do work. And I really do think it's good for you to have a couple of years under your belt in your business so that you know a little bit about what works and doesn't work. When we know what doesn't work in our business, boy, is that a great lesson. And it's sometimes you feel like you failed. Like, oh, I've really failed at that. Oh, that really didn't work out. But what you actually did is you learned something. So if we can take lessons that you've learned and turn them into how you brand and market your business, how you deal with your customers, talk to your customers, funnel them into an easy sales system so you close the sale. When we do that, we are winning at life. We are loving our business. We are in control. We are no longer frustrated because we know what to do. That to me is the biggest benefit of the work I do in the Art of Good Business. If I'm ever feeling anxious in my business, oh, I'm feeling like I'm falling behind, or there's that new competitor, or I just lost a wedding, right? Oh, wait a minute, did I just lose that wedding because I was too expensive? I know what to do. I know how to sit down and do work. I do the Art of Good Business. That's the work I do. So anytime you're not sure, you can reset. The Art of Good Business helps you reset and refocus. Like, this is what I'm working on. I'm not looking at Instagram. I'm not thinking about my competitors. I'm not worried about that wedding that didn't book by the expiration date. I'm not worried about those things because I'm doing this. I'm focused and I'm moving forward in all of these directions, one by one by one, and all of a sudden I'm going to see results, because when we practice, every lesson we do builds upon the last. So that's the art of the good business. We can do good business, but there is an art to it. And if you didn't know, where I steal this from is Andy Warhol's quote about business is the best art, you know, and it is really true to me. I really, really can relate to that idea, because I don't just think of business as like cutthroat, or I don't think of business as being just businessy. I really do appreciate the nuance, the finesse, the care, the psychology, right? All of the stuff that goes into being good at business. And it truly is an art. I really do believe that. And it's my pleasure to get to teach some of y'all how to do this work with me. So Art of Good Business closes Friday. I want you to keep doing beautiful work. I want you to have a beautiful 2020 if I don't see you between now and when it actually turns 2020. But knowing me, I have a feeling I'll have something to hop in here and talk to you about. So don't think you got rid of me for the whole rest of the year just yet. As always, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being part of my group. Thanks for being a part of my subscriber list or a follower or wherever you're watching this. If you're watching in a replay, I appreciate you very much for taking the time to tune in and watch. And I appreciate your emails, your questions, and your support as well right back. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you next time. Have a lovely rest of your Tuesday. And yes, we will be in touch. Oh, wait, hold on. Tina says, did I read somewhere that you said you have to be in business for 3 years to take the course? All right, that's a good question. You have to be in business for 3 years to apply for the scholarship. I think it's smart if you've been in business for 3 years, but I have some people who have not been in for 3 years. It depends on your life experience to some degree also, Tina. If there's someone who is in the course, who just signed up for the course, who has not been in business for 3 years yet, but she is definitely ready for the course. So if you're not sure, let's talk. I'm always happy to talk. The 3 years was really it's not a requirement to join, but it is a requirement for the scholarship because you gotta have a little traction. When you have a little traction, the work we do becomes a lot easier. So don't let the 3-year discourage you if you're not sure if it's right for you. We'll hop on a call. Literally, we'll hop on a call. You'll be like, oh, you sound just like you do on the videos. I'll be like, yeah, I do, because it's me. That's sort of usually how the call goes. So if you want to talk, Tina, just shoot me an email or a DM or whatever, and we'll set up a time for a quick chat, okay? So I want to make sure it's right for you before you sign up. Genuinely and truly, that's my goal, is to make sure I get the right people in there. So I don't want anybody floundering or feeling oh, this wasn't worth it. I want you to get in there and be like, bam, this was gold. That's my goal always when you sign up for a course. I want to more than deliver the value that you expect. So yeah, happy to chat with you. She says, sounds good. All right, cool. We'll set up a time to talk. Keep doing beautiful work. Have a great day. I'm shutting off now. I'm shutting up and shutting off. And thanks so much for tuning in. Okay, bye.